Hello, my friend. Welcome to live chat. I am so happy to be here. I have been away. I have not, I took a little break, just a little one, just a little break. So that's why there was no What's Up and Makeup this morning. But when I got home, I got right back to work and I did a quick dive into everything that happened this past week. But of course, didn't have time to film and edit and gather all the photos and everything. And I didn't do as deep of a dive as I typically do because I just didn't have the time since I was away with my family. We were at the beach and celebrating my son's 12th birthday, and it was fabulous. We had a great time. But now it is time to get back to business and talk about what happened in the makeup space this past week. I will be 100% honest with you. It was a good week to be away because there wasn't anything that was like, oh my gosh, like dying over. But there are some really interesting topics to talk about. So I'm actually really thankful that it was this week that I was away because this lends the news stories lend themselves more to conversation rather than just spitting information at you. So this is great for live chat because we have a wonderful group of people that are here live and they're going to help us discuss this. But if you are not here live, that is no problem at all. You can also participate in the comments section down below. That's where you are part of the collective brain. And there are a lot of people that do read those comments, including myself. So we can get your opinion on the things that are happening in makeup this week. So before we get started on the first topic, which is the thumbnail of this video about, you know, I understand, you wanna vent to the internet and something happens and you want to say something, but then sometimes there are consequences to that. And we're going to talk about it because I can really see both sides on this. And I'm a little like, I want to hear what you all have to say about this woman that vented about her haircut on TikTok. Yeah. And then we have updates on the Estee Lauder story from last week about the security breach. There's a very interesting article in Allure about CBD beauty because when was the last time you saw any new beauty products with CBD in them coming out? That might be ending. That might be over. That there may no longer be any more CBD beauty, or it may just be extremely limited. There's a very interesting article I want to go over, and then we've got some very interesting. I mean, I keep saying everything's interesting because it is. There's some very cool hair dye that just came out. It's not really hair dye; it's more like hair makeup. It makes your hair look holographic, which is so neat. Marc Jacobs came out with a really neat fragrance idea. And we also have a couple of there's a new skincare and makeup brand launching, and then I found two things I wanted to mention, one from Ulta and one from Sephora products that I want to mention. So before we get into that, I do want to say good morning to the people that are here live. They're going to be participating in this conversation. So good morning to Consuelo. Oh, I miss you too, Consuelo. It's been a whole week. Oh my goodness. Yeah, usually I put out 2 videos by now, but vacation happens and it was well needed. It was well needed, but I am ready to get back to work. And the hair, here we go. There we go. That's cuter. Okay. I am ready to get back to work and hang out and talk with you guys about what's happening. Teresa, hello. I hope that you are doing well. I hope Flory is doing well. Our 2 moderators that are consistently here. Thank you so much for being here. If Steph and Audra were able to make it, thank you so much for being here as well. They are unpaid, so it's just whenever they can show up. And Teresa and Flory are so kind to be here so often. So thank you so much for that. And just a friendly reminder, I don't think this is going to be controversial, but if the moderators ask you to do something, if you could, I would really, really appreciate that. It just, don't take it personal. And if you accidentally get put in timeout, and you didn't do anything, chances are it was an accident. So don't worry about it. Try not to take it personal. All right. Francesca, hello, good afternoon. Good morning, Roya. Happy Sunday to you. And Donna Lee, good morning to you. Good morning, Carrie, and to Coffee in Europe. I had coffee in Europe once. It was fabulous. It was the first time I ever had a latte with the cool little swirl on it. It was delicious. I still dream about that coffee occasionally. Good morning, Tracy. Happy Sunday to you. Good morning, Heba. It's like 110 degrees in Cairo this week. We are melting. Hope your weather is better than ours. It is nuts how hot it is. We were at Rehoboth Beach in Delaware, and it was shocking, the difference between being in the air conditioning of where we were staying to going outside. And it was really it was unusually hot. So I can't even imagine in Cairo what it feels like. But it seems to be pretty bad everywhere, like that it's summertime right now. So yeah, it's pretty bad. But Cairo must be another level, I would imagine. Goodness, stay cool. Miss Lavender, hello, good morning. I know July's almost over. I was talking to Phoenix this morning. I was like, have you picked out your back to school outfit? And they were like, no, I still have a month. It's like, it's coming before you know it. It's coming before you know it. Hi, Jana. Good morning to you. And good morning to Kristen. Feeling crummy this morning. Oh, no. My family is passing some sort of bug around. Thankfully, not COVID. I hope you feel better soon. Oh, Kirsten. I'm so sorry. I just read it too fast. Kirsten, I hope you feel better soon. And if I did not say good morning to you, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Okay, so let's talk about this first person. Her name is Megan. And her, I forgot to link all the stuff. I have all of the links for all of the articles that I'm going to pop up as soon as chat is over. But I believe this was in, I can't remember. But the title is "A Woman Went Massively Viral for a Botched Haircut During Her Mommy Makeover, but Became Overwhelmed with Guilt After the Stylist Saw Her TikTok." And I'm trying to, it's Insider. Insider always has those obnoxiously, well, not obnoxiously, because I actually kind of like them, the very, very long titles. That's how I know it's an Insider article, because they're really long. So let me just show you her. This is Megan. POV, you assume because it was a nice salon, they knew what they were doing. And then this is the haircut that she ended up with. She had asked for a wolf cut, which I'm going to show you. Let me just show you her videos real quick. And again, I'm going to link her her TikTok down below as soon as chat is over.
You're kidding me. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. What? Well, I said layered with cut like wolf cut layers. What? There's nothing there. What? This is a bob. This is a bob. There are no layers. And then what is this when what is this? Oh my God.
Okay, so that was the original post that was posted. It was viewed over 11 million times. And the question is for this: when is it okay to publicly complain about a service? Is the internet the place that you should vent about your service? If you're not sure what a wolf cut is, let me show you her second video where she shows the reference photos.
I did. I tipped her and I paid the full price.
That's the wrong one. This one.
Yes. Okay. So this was one of the pictures I showed. I just wanted those really choppy wolf cut layers. This was another one. Yeah. This was another one. I know I did want to be shorter than this, but this was the really layered look that I was going for. Yeah. And then when the bangs weren't quite right, I went back and I showed her this one to show how I wanted it a chunkier, I said curtain bang multiple times. Okay. It just sucks because I had my third baby, and this was supposed to be kind of like my little mommy makeover, and it didn't go quite as planned. And I don't know why I haven't cried yet, but I do realize hair will grow back, and I'll be fine.
Okay, so that's what the wolf cut looks like. That was what I meant to show you. So clearly she did not get what she asked for. It's definitely not. Let me see. So based on this upload, this is the other thing I wrote down, is that it looks like she didn't tell them that she was unhappy. So here's the one that I started to show you.
I did. I tipped her, and I paid the full price because I hate confrontation. I'm just one of those people, and I know it's like pathetic. I will say though, in the moment when I was watching myself in the mirror, I was hyping myself up to say something, and actually initially the bangs were just really long, like almost like they weren't cut at all. So that was my initial problem. So I worked up the courage to to tell her I wanted a chunkier bang, and then I totally regret asking for that because just look what happened. But I will be writing myself a script tonight so that I can call tomorrow and possibly go back in and see if we can do something about this. And you all in the comments are definitely giving me more courage as well. It just sucks because I just had my...
Okay, I don't know what happened, why it cuts off, but I think maybe she just ran out of time. So I want to see what you all have to say about this, because I definitely have thoughts. I have thoughts, but what are you all thinking? Okay, so D, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you, D. D's been around forever. Thank you, D. All right. Okay. Yeah, Mercedes says 1000% not a wolf cut. I would be very upset, especially if my hair was so long like hers. Yes. Gabrielle says, I get through it. I'm shy and won't speak up, and I will tip. You know what? Honestly, like, I don't like confrontation either, believe it or not. Some people would be very surprised to hear this. I don't like confrontation either, like, especially in that kind of situation when I know I'm like almost insulting somebody's work. You know what I'm saying? But at that point, I think I probably would have been like, well, it's not exactly what I imagined, or something like that. Like, I would have said something like, oh, well, that's different than I expected. And then I would kind of like, if I saw the unevenness, because it's like clear she has one piece here that's like this, and then this side is just long. Like, do you see? I would have been like, do you see this? See how this side is short and this side is long? Like, I imagine that they would be matching. You know what I mean? Like something like that. And then it's like, I kind of was looking for, you know what I mean? Like, not in a mean way. Like, you can, like, I don't know. My heart would have been racing though, because I would have been so anxious to say something. But I do think that I would have said something, because that is so far off of what she asked for. I'd be very curious though, if you're a hairstylist, do you think she has enough hair in order to do that full, like all those full layers? Like, would she have, like, her hair isn't like super thick, like, would those layers have worked, or would it have been really thin on the end? I'd be curious about that. Megan says if she vented to the stylist and they had no sympathy and didn't care, then yeah, social media is okay. Yeah, you know what, Donnelly? I was thinking that too. And I was remembering back to when my kids were little, and it's so hard to just have a moment to do something. And she was completely ignoring her kid. Like, I feel like I understand that you just don't have a moment of peace at that, like, good luck getting, 30 seconds to be able to record something. Like, I kind of get it, but at the same time, it really, she did take care of her kid eventually. Like, you can tell she recorded like the 30 seconds or whatever, and then her kid wasn't crying in the next cut. So yeah, it was kind of odd, wasn't it? A little bit odd. Let me see. Yeah. Aaron says, wow, that's not even close to that haircut. She's right. It's a long bob. Cassie says, imagine paying for a service and not getting what you want and getting flack for telling people how your experience went. Okay, so this is a great lead in to the last clip. Where she feels really bad about posting what she posted. So this clip is a little bit longer. It's 2 minutes and 21 seconds.
So it's a little awkward now. That video blew up and I know that they saw it and I just feel really bad now. And I know the salon owner offered to fix my hair, but now I'm just kind of feeling like it's gonna be awkward. Like it's this awkward elephant in the room if I'm sitting there getting my hair fixed by her that like I made this TikTok about them. And that's on me because, you know, I was heat of the moment. I was upset and I made a video as like, I don't know, venting, and I still think I have reason to be angry, but I am feeling bad because honestly the girl that did my hair was very nice, very sweet, and I'm not mad at her specifically at all. Actually, like she's a great person. I'm more mad at the salon in general that they would hire somebody. I can't talk. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I know I should have done more research about the stylist beforehand. I will be doing that from here on out. But I also think there's just a level of assumption that when you go to a nicer salon, you would think all of the stylists have a certain level of skill sets. And I don't think it's her fault that she's working there or hired there. Like, she obviously just needs to gain more experience and maybe training. But I don't know where I'm going with this, but I guess I'm just trying to explain myself, and I also want her to know that I don't hate her. I don't want her to be fired. I think there's a lot of malicious comments that are obviously going to be hurtful to her, and I don't like that. I was just purely upset at the situation, and that's that.
Okay, so this is the thing. This is where I do feel like, and I've never worked in the hair industry, so I don't know if there's something that I'm missing here. I did work in customer service. I was a big restaurant person. That was what I always worked in, was restaurants. I worked in fast food, and I worked in, I was a hostess, and then I waited tables, and then I was a manager in a restaurant. And so I don't know what it's like to work at a hair salon, but I do feel like there is a level of responsibility you have to have when you are in that kind of position. So, like, for example, my husband is a tattoo artist, and if he has someone that wants a photorealistic portrait, he knows that he could probably take a stab at it, no pun intended, and do pretty well with it. But that's not his specialty. He would send them to, well, his friend Evan, who is an incredible portrait artist, but he's all the way in Rhode Island, but he used to work. Let's say Evan still worked at the studio. He would be like, you know what, I really think you should go to Evan for this. Or if it's like an old school tattoo style, that's not John's specialty. So if this hair stylist had never done something like that before and wasn't sure how, then maybe ask someone or say, you know what, I don't feel comfortable with this. Like, why are we not in the hairstyling in salons? Are we not finding out what the customer wants before they book the appointment? Because that's a failure, I feel like, on the salon's part, if the stylist didn't know that that's what the person wanted before they sat down. Like, there's some kind of miscommunication here, because that stylist should not have been doing that haircut, because clearly they didn't know how to do that. And to be done with it and to think that the unevenness was okay is a whole nother level. Because I feel like any stylist, even if you are brand new, even if you're working at a beauty school because you're still in training, you know the difference between even and uneven. Like, I know, as someone who has never cut hair before, the difference between even and uneven. And if you're cutting something and you see that every time I ever got my hair cut, they go like this. and they look and make sure that it's even. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something wrong there where this person should not have been cutting hair, just period. And it's not against that person as a person. Well, it kind of is, because it's like that's your job, that's your responsibility to make sure you are not taking on a project that's over your skill set, that's not your specialty. If you know that all you can do is do basic haircuts, then that's all you should be taking until you are able to do more, or get, practice on a friend, or, like let the person know, hey, I've never done this before. Like maybe we should schedule somebody else. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there should be something there. There's some kind of miscommunication happening here. But is that not something that they do at salons, like to find out what the client wants and then match them with the appropriate stylist? Tracy says that the stylist should have spoken up if they saw it wouldn't be possible to create the wolf cut for her. Yeah, I agree. I think so too. Oh, Forever Candace says, I just cried and told the lady, I've not had short hair in so long. Maybe I just need to play with it. And I ran out. Oh, they cut your hair too long. Oh, too short. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Mary said the kid was mad about the hair too. Yeah. Hey, Anna's got a 2 out of 2. Hold on a second. Where's Anna's 1 out of 2? There you are. All right, Anna. I once vented on social media about what I perceived to be poor service, and a friend of mine who owns a small business gave me advice to talk to the business first to give them a chance. Yeah. I agree. Where's the second Anna? There's the second Anna. To correct what you think they did wrong, it is unfair to vent on social media when the business doesn't know about your negative feedback. But one thing I appreciated about what Megan did is she didn't call the stylist out by name. She also didn't call the salon out by name, which I think was, if she had done that, I think that would have been worse and more unfair. So Zen Master says there's a way to do shorter layers on finer hair, but she doesn't have enough fullness on the bottom to support all those layers. Gotcha. Indigo says she definitely started with enough hair. Kids try to get your attention sometimes when you're doing something else. That's very true. They get kind of jealous of whatever it is you're trying to do. Hi, Audra. Hi. People are going to be emotional. She took to TikTok on an emotional level, not expecting to go viral, and now it's made things weird. Yes, exactly. And honestly, I'm going to be 100% with you, friend. I think that I would totally have done the same thing. I feel like I could have been Megan. Absolutely. But I can see in hindsight, it probably wasn't the best choice to do that before talking to them, before expressing that there was a problem. But I do appreciate that she didn't mention the name of the salon. I think that does help. Pam says, I agree with what she's saying. When you pay more, you expect better service. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And why is this person who can't do that working at this upscale salon without the experience? And why is the salon booking this complicated of a cut? Because there's no way I could do that. But Sarah has a different perspective. I think it's an awesome learning opportunity. Glad she posted. Nice. Yeah. I think it's a learning opportunity for everywhere. For everybody. I was looking at Rhode Island. I love Rhode Island. Rhode Island's a great state. Vermont, honestly, it has my heart, though, I will say. All right. So let me see if there's anything else I had here. Okay, this is the same thing I said. I wrote down maybe she shouldn't have taken on the project if she didn't feel like she could do it. It's clear that that the reference images don't match what Megan got. I do feel like Megan did have a responsibility to talk to the salon before blowing them up. But I think this is our social media society where, we see other people posting things like this and we want to be a part of it. You see other people have something happen and then they post about it, and you know that you're in that situation where something happened to you and you want to post about it too, just like you've seen other people do it. And there's that pull of social media to do that. So I totally get it. Oh, this is a great point, Erica. Is the stylist an employee or does she rent her chair? Because I've definitely been to salons where they just rent a chair. But I still feel like it's the salon's responsibility to make sure that they're booking good matches. One thing I noticed that my salon does, which I think is very interesting, is they match the age of the stylist to the age of the person getting their haircut. Like you always see the young stylists on young clients. And my stylist is like in her low 50s. Like I think that that's interesting. And I think that that's kind of cool because you kind of are going through, when you talk to your stylist about things that are happening, like my stylist has kids and she likes to go on cruises and travel. And, like I feel like we can talk about a lot of things where I feel like I might not have as much to talk about to somebody that's younger. And, that kind of happens when you're in a stylist chair for a lot of people, not everybody, obviously, but I think that's kind of neat to like match that. So I don't know. That was just something that I thought of. Oh my goodness, so many good comments that I'm not going to be able to read because I do want to move on to the next story. I have lots and lots to share with you. Jess says, I feel like the salon employees should have asked one another, did she ask for that? Because it doesn't even look like a cut someone asked for. Oh, definitely. Absolutely. The stylist definitely did not have the skill set. And I don't think she should be fired either, but I definitely think she needs some training and education, especially on just a basic cut. Like how does it end up like that? That's what I'm wondering. How do we get here? Like, how is that ever okay? Even at a beauty school. Like if she did that cut at a beauty school, there's no way, like as a trainee. Have you ever gotten your hair cut at a beauty school? I have. It's fabulous because the teacher is there to kind of like help. And I don't get anything that complicated anyway. But, even at a beauty school, I don't think she would have walked out like that. Like where was the breakdown here? All right, Cassie says, here's this thing, regardless of any job you're in, if you think you cannot do your job or you think you will make a mistake, stop, ask someone. Definitely, especially when it comes to hair. I mean, I feel like, especially as women, we have an emotional attachment to our hair. And I don't know, I guess men do too. Do men have an emotional, if you're a man, do you have an emotional attachment to your hair? I know I have an emotional attachment to my hair. When my hair started thinning, my hairline's going back a tiny bit. It's hard, to have your hair change in a way that you feel is negative, and to get a cut that is clearly not what you were envisioning. It's an emotional thing. I mean, even though it does grow back, it's still emotional. Oh, Jenny says I'm the worst kind of customer coming to a salon. I have no idea what I want, but I definitely know what I don't want. But my hairdresser is the best and she gets me. We communicate. That's wonderful. I'm so glad you found your person because that's hard. My issue with getting my hair done has always been covering my grays. That's been part of my journey, is covering my grays, because my grays are very difficult to cover. So you might notice, I know I noticed when I first get my hair done, the top is where my grays are is significantly lighter because it is difficult to cover them. So they are like a shade lighter than the rest of my hair. It might just be the lighting. I don't know. You can't really tell like I can see. But she covers them. I don't have sprinkles where they've just missed, which was always the issue with me getting my hair done. And now my stylist is able to at least cover them, even if they are a little bit lighter and then they get darker on the second dye. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but anyway, all right. So let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to give you a quick update on the cybersecurity breach over at Estee Lauder, and then we'll go over what's on my face / PR purchase product of the week. I have so much to share with you with that. So the cybersecurity breach at Estee Lauder we talked about last week, and there was a lot of I don't know, like irritation about that story last week, almost that like I was saying that Estee Lauder should be saying something when there could be legal implications for them not talking about, like there might be a reason why they're not talking about the details of the security breach, which is 100% fair. It is. It's 100% fair. There may be reasons why Estee Lauder can't talk about it. I didn't talk about it in What's with Makeup last week, but I want to make sure I mention that now. There might be reasons why. So this is the update. According to Barclays Capital analyst, Estee Lauder's recent cyber attack can potentially impact sales by approximately $300 million. I have a feeling this is the second cyber attack. The first one was on employee systems and stealing data from employee systems, like insurance numbers, bank accounts, stuff like that. The second one seems to be more on on just the business in general. So it says the hacking incident led to significant disruption in the company's global business operations, shutting down point of sale systems and halting certain manufacturing operations. So there's an analyst that I'm not sure how legit this person is because I didn't look into it, but her name is Lauren Lieberman. She suggested the company underinvested in the technology, raising concern of deeper issues within the organization. And this is also an issue because the cybersecurity breach adds to the problems that they are saying Estee Lauder is already having, meaning that Estee Lauder is, as a company, is not growing exponentially. They are, businesses go up and down naturally, but Estee Lauder is in a downswing. We've seen cuts over at Too Faced and Smashbox as far as their redundant employees. So it says that their anticipated below target results are challenges including anticipated below target results for fiscal 2023 due to weak sales in China and Korea specifically. So that's an issue as well. But yeah, I just wanted to update you on that's going to be a big hit to Estee Lauder, and we'll have to see what happens because they own so many brands. We'll have to see what happens with that. I mean, they're a multi-billion-dollar brand, so $300 million is still a huge hit, but it's not going to put them under, I don't think. So I just wanted to update you on that. And Alexandra, I work at Estee Lauder. Well, I'm leaving, actually. It was a huge thing. We didn't have the system access for more than 2 weeks, and no one said sorry. We don't know what data was stolen. Wow, Alexandra. That's so interesting. Yes, there were 2 security breaches. There was one that happened that we think happened at the end of May, but we didn't find out about it as a public until 2 weeks ago. And then that same day, hopefully I'm getting my facts right, it's in last week's episode of What's in Makeup. That same day, another cybersecurity, I think they're called Black Cat, another like cyber gang or whatever they call it, said that they also hit Estee Lauder. The first one hit a bunch of companies, a ton of companies, mostly British companies. And then the second one, I'm not sure who they targeted, but they said Estee Lauder was one of the companies that they targeted as well, but that they were not linked, that they're not the same group. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Kirsten says anytime legalities get involved, it gets messy. Oh, 100%. All right, so let's take a break. And then after this, we're going to talk a little bit about CBD beauty and the death of it and why it's dying. I can tell you I am not shocked about this at all. And then we've got some makeup releases to talk about. So let's talk about what I got in PR. All of this is PR that was waiting for me when I got back. Got a beautiful PR package from Bobbi Brown, my first PR package from Bobbi Brown. This is the Vitamin Rich Skin Tint Broad Spectrum SPF 15, which is not enough sunscreen, just as a heads up. This would be a nice, put on over your sunscreen to make sure you didn't miss a spot kind of situation. It is extremely light coverage. I am wearing it today. Let me put a little dollop on my hand. It is a little bit yellow for me. This is shade 3 light, but it is so sheer. And also my skin has a little bit of tan on it from being in Mexico and then at the beach and Rehoboth, but it is extremely sheer. It is a tinted moisturizer. It also has a very significant scent. It is strong, floral, a tad bit sweet. It smells like something specific, but I can't place it. It is headache inducing how strong the scent is. It is extremely strong. Very strong. I can't smell it now, but putting it on, I could really, really smell it. So just be aware. I also used their Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Pressed Powder. I would say this is, it's putting into, you can see there's no powder or dust. I did use this today. It's pretty packed in there. So you have to really get your brush in there to get it on. And you can see the yellow doesn't really show up at all. I do have it all over my face and it didn't mattify. It did bring down the shininess of the skin tint a little bit, but it definitely doesn't bring me to full matte, which I personally really like. But I am going to play with this a little bit more because I'm a little confused the purpose of it. I'm a little confused, I guess, to just make it a little more matte. And also I need to look into the marketing of it because I did not do that. They sent me this beautiful PR package. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me just show you what's inside. So they also sent over another shade. This one's a little bit lighter, I believe. This one is shade 2. So they sent me shade 3 and shade 2. They also sent over their vitamin enriched face base, which I'm really excited to try. And then also their vitamin enriched eye base, which I'm going to try as well. I did not try those today. So very excited about those. To kind of dig into Bobbi Brown a bit because I haven't really played with that brand a whole lot. It's pricey and it's, not something that we've really explored as a community, personally together. So I'm excited about it and I'm excited to get some things. This is interesting. I just want to click on this about the hair thing. Jen, if they're renters, meaning the hairstylists, they're independent businesses and they're in charge of booking their appointments, not the same as operations at an employee salon. Thank you so much for that. If they're in charge of booking their appointments, because the one that when I went to the hair rental place, I called the place. When I went to the one place that I got the stylist that booked a chair or whatever, I called the place and they matched me with her. So it may not be the case like that everywhere. Thank you so much for that, Shelby. I really appreciate that. Okay, so for brows, Sydney Grace sent over their latest product. So this is their Mad For You brows. And I use these 2 shades here. One thing that's really fun about a brow palette like this is you can kind of play in the shades and go a little lighter, a little deeper in certain parts of your brow. So I went a little deeper on the outer edge and then a little lighter on the inner edge, the inner corner. And, it's kind of fun. It went in really easily, brushed through very easily. I have brow gel in, everything went fine. So very excited about that to continue playing with that because I haven't really used a lot of brow powders recently. I also used on my eyes the Sydney Grace Heaven on Earth palette. And just a reminder, all of this is PR. This went on beautifully like Sydney Grace does. I use the shade Tide Rising, Into the Jungle, and Flawless from my upper lid. Oh, and then also Supernatural. On my lower lash line, I use Asteroid Belt and I believe Tide Rising and Supernatural. Let me swatch a few of these for you because they are absolutely freaking gorgeous. It's part of their Christmas in July sale that all of the details are on their Instagram. So there's just a few of the shades. I really like the Supernatural shade, big shocker. Oh, those went on a little bit patchy. I think because maybe I used my weaker fingers because those definitely don't look great. They went on really easily though. Let me use my other fingers to try to get it to build a little bit. Okay. So there's just 4 of the shades there. Did I go over the same shade? It looks like I went over the wrong. Did I do the wrong shade maybe? I don't know because it looks like 2 different colors there. What did I do? Okay, let's do this again. I think I did. Okay. Just ignore that one in the middle. Let me do a couple of the matte shades. Yeah, I think I went over the wrong shade. So yeah, I mean, the Sydney Grace is freaking amazing. Their eyeshadow formula is freaking phenomenal. Always is. The only palette, I will be honest with you, that I wasn't the biggest fan of was the Temptalia palette that they've sent me. They sent me a lot of palettes in PR. That was the only one I really wasn't the biggest fan of. There were some missed shades in there. There were definitely some hits, but there were definitely some misses as well in that one. But overall, I freaking love Sydney Grace. I also tried today. This is really exciting. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex Foreplay mascara primer. This is okay. So let me just tell you what happened. So it feels really dry in the tube, very dry. And I had to use like maybe 3 or 4 layers of it before I felt like I had enough on my lashes. And what it did was it built volume. It didn't really build length for me. Again, this is first impression, first time I've used these scent and PR. And then I used the Better Than Sex mascara over top of it. And again, I got a ton of beautiful, gorgeous volume, some length, but length was not the strength. It was mostly volume with this pairing, but I'm going to keep playing with it because mascaras and primers and things like that, they kind of change a little bit as they're open for a bit. It does have the same heavy packaging that the Better Than Sex mascara has, and it feels really nice. It doesn't have the poofy, like how this has the poofy here. This sticks out. This is flush. It's a tiny bit of texture where it's printed, but it's flush against. It's not poofy on the packaging. And then finally, last thing I want to show you is that I did get the ColourPop Naruto collection. I did not use this on my eyes today, but what I did use was the lip oil. Yeah, the lip oil. I'll swatch that for you. And we did talk a little bit about this last week in What's Up in Makeup. So if you're curious about this collection, definitely check that out. I gave my son's expert opinion on that. So it's just a lip oil, just a very, very little bit of tint. And of course, I needed to add a little bit of color. So what I did was I added Hidden Sand Village, I think. No. Yes. Was it Hidden? No. It was this one. Hidden Stone Village is what I put over top of it. And I made a lipstick because that's what I do. There you go. There's Hidden Stone Village over top. That's what I have on my lips today, I believe. Is that what I did? Let's do the other one, just in case. I don't remember which one I did. Let's do all three because I can't remember. It's been too long. We've had too much conversation since then. I don't know which village I did. That's what it comes down to. So that one was Hidden Stone Village. Let's do Hidden Sand Village, which would be this one. Look how pretty that comes out. Like seriously, like this is. And then let's do Hidden Cloud Village because I don't know if I did that. I think this one's too dark though. I don't think I did that one. Maybe I did. I don't remember. I think I did the first one. Go with your instincts, Jen. But aren't those beautiful lip colors? I'm telling you, the only drawback to this stuff is that you can't really take it with you, so you can't really reapply. That's the only drawback to doing like mushy lip colors like that. All right, so that's what's on my face today. Oh, we have a new member. I see Alan. Alan, thank you so much for joining the Collective Brain Elite. I appreciate you. Oh my goodness, so many good comments. There you are. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Oh, hi, Jen. Jen saw. Okay. Oh, Jen's talking about somebody ordered from Gerard Cosmetics. Gerard Cosmetics is also having a Black Friday and July sale. I think it's still going on. All right. That took a really long time for me to go through that. What? Afra says Temptalia is going to start working part-time, not full-time on her blog. What? I would imagine she's tired of it. That woman must have so much makeup. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's go into this. Okay. All right. Holographic color changing hair color. No. CBD Beauty. Okay. So it's 2017. Okay. That was when some of the whisperings of CBD Beauty started. There was a law that was passed in 2018 and it was called the, where is it? Farm Bill. Okay. And it made in the US hemp, which is, they say, cannabis and derivatives of cannabis with less than 0.3% THC legal across the United States. Okay. But the issue with CBD, there's so many issues with it. And the article that I'm going to link down below goes into so many issues. Okay. But CBD was freaking everywhere. Do you remember that? The article says, it's in Allure. The title is CBD Beauty is, the title is We Are Gathered Here Today to Say Goodbye to CBD Beauty. Okay. Peak in December of 2019 at 57.2 thousand searches in that month. Back then, there were, this is the issue, is that when CBD in skincare and makeup launched, there were all these claims that people were making about the things that it could do, but there really wasn't research to back up those claims. There wasn't a lot of research because CBD as an ingredient had just become legal. So like they were claiming all kinds of stuff. Like even the article says that CBD, quote, appears to literally switch off the uncontrolled cell growth associated with some types of cancer. Like they were making that, like they were saying that research was starting to say that, right? But there wasn't a lot of research behind it because it was a brand new ingredient. I think that the industry just kind of lost their mind over it and people were curious about it because when you hear CBD and you see like the leaf on all of the marketing, people are like, oh, like does it have THC in it? Is it going to get me high? And it made people curious, right? But then when people realized that it was just more stuff and the CBD didn't really do much. It was just like a thing that they put like, okay, so I'm not talking about the THC stuff. Make sure we're clear on this, because I have heard that THC in balms and things can make a huge difference for people. This is not it. This is just plain CBD. And if you've had a great experience with the CBD product, that's fantastic. Maybe it's the CBD for you. Maybe it's other ingredients that are in there. You never really know. So, people were just mostly just very intrigued. But then a lot of people that were buying it were like, this is just regular skincare. Like, there's really nothing magical about this. The other thing is that it was really difficult to sell. So like, for example, my farmer's market that I sell at on Sundays sometimes. No, the one I sell it on Saturdays sometimes. You're not allowed to have CBD products there. I don't think you're allowed to have CBD products even at the market I sell it on Sundays. Like, they even said that Disney Resort in Orlando, there's a Sephora inside. You're not allowed to have like the Milk Kush mascara in there because it's THC, it's like marijuana adjacent or whatever, like cannabis adjacent is what they called it. People that were selling it were saying that their websites were being shut down, that they weren't able to advertise on Facebook because they started in the beginning of when CBD was starting to be advertised. The Facebook banned their ability to advertise because they thought that they were selling drugs. Shopify stores getting shut down because they thought that they were selling drugs. Instagram accounts that they say were shadow banned, even though Instagram says there's no such thing as shadow banning, which I think is really weird. But people saying that their Instagrams were getting shadow banned. I mean, basically it's a pain in the ass. Is what it comes down to. Selling CBD in products is a pain in the ass. And I actually, when I was thinking about starting a skincare line back in, I think it was 2018. Must have been 2018 when CBD was like brand new hit the market. And I went to Cosmoprof with John to kind of look into it. Look at packaging and, all of that stuff. And the biggest, most packed seminar that I went to, because there's these different like classes, these different seminars you can go to, was the CBD one. It was standing room only in the CBD one. And basically what they were saying is you have to be really freaking careful, because if you go over that 0.3% THC by accident and it gets tested, then you get shut down. That's the end. And you could get legal consequences because you're selling drugs at that point. So it was really tricky from the jump. And now a lot of brands have shut down. So like, for example, Allure published on 4/20, 2021, they published a shopping guide for CBD products, and they highlighted 21 products. And as of now, 13 of those products have been discontinued. It's really bad. It's looking really bad for CBD products, especially in the beauty space. And the other thing they talked about too in the article was just general fatigue, because there was a period of time when there's like CBD toilet paper and CBD sheets and or hemp-based sheets or whatever it was. It's like what is even happening? So really, I think people are just disenchanted with it. I don't think that people are as excited about it. And I think they realize that the magic of products that are cannabis derived is in the THC. Here in Maryland, we just legalized THC for adults over 21. So all you have to do is it's like Colorado, you just go into the dispensary and you just show them your ID and you can buy whatever you want. So I would imagine that is going to spread more across the country, but who knows? And that would, I think, open up the cosmetic market to re-explore if you can include more THC. Because I know, like, my best friend uses a THC balm on her joints, and she swears by it. So that may be a thing that would be really good. So. Darky's Makeup and Science, the CBD hype train, toot toot. Oh gosh, I have a patent with weed over. I have a patient with weed overdose at the moment. What? And for a long time with that. What? Weed overdose? What? What is happening? Yes, it's supposed to be an anti-inflammatory, but the thing is there's tried and true ingredients that are anti-inflammatories. It's like it just hasn't been researched enough, in my opinion. Jenny says, I know a lot of people with sensitive skin who love skincare with CBD. It's really big beauty products here in Sweden. But what I'm wondering is it the CBD or is it the other ingredients? I don't know. Jen, the expert here. CBD is so expensive for little to no results, plus no regulation to even show if it's even in the product. Interesting. I know a brand that was selling fake CBD glitter masks. Wow. Spilling the tea. Jen Gerard in here spilling the tea. And the thing is there's so little regulation in the US. Like you can say anything is in anything. Unless somebody tests it, once it's gone to market, you will not know. Like you can list on the ingredient list all the things that are in it. Like you can list things that don't even exist on the ingredient list. You can misspell things to high hell to the point where it's not even recognizable what it was supposed to be. And you can sell it. And unless someone calls you out on it, and even if someone does call you out on it, you can still sell it. It's like the regulations here in the US are so lax. I can't speak to other countries, but it's so lax. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Jen's right that there are companies that are just selling this stuff, saying that there's CBD in it when there isn't really. I was really into, actually, I have it right here. I use this occasionally down here. I purchased some, and then I also got some in PR. Kristen Bell's Happy Dance hand cream. This is 75 milligrams CBD, 75 milligrams CBG. This was a really nice line. It's now shut down. I'm going to use some now because I could totally use some right now. It was a really nice line, but I think that people just, it's just and it was expensive. That's the thing. The other thing that the article talked about that was fascinating. How do we only have 10 minutes left? Was fascinating was they were talking about how a lot of these companies are owned by white people and that the companies were selling it at a ridiculous price, all the CBD stuff. And there are so many people of color that are in prison for marijuana related charges. And they were making that, they kind of left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths too, for that, social reason that like all these people are coming and making all this money off of, CBD, even though it's not, marijuana, it's not exactly the same thing. While there's all these people in prison, for similar, for having a, similar kind of thing, that it just left a bad taste in people's mouths for that. So yeah, I mean, if you love your CBD product, please continue to use it. Please love it. I'm not trying to hate on you or say that you're using something that doesn't work. It may very well work for you. Absolutely. I haven't tried or looked into every single CBD product that exists. I'm just saying that there's big issues with CBD, with making it, with marketing it, with selling it. There's just so many issues. And searches for CBD beauty are down 63.1% year over year from June 2022 to June 2023. So that's a thing. All right, I need to I need to keep going. Oh my goodness, I need to keep going. So I want to show you this because this is freaking cool. Okay, so this is a color changing hair dye. Check this out. How cool is that? It's a unique temporary hair dye that leverages your hair color to unseen tonal spectrums without damaging the hair or scalp. It's cruelty-free, it's bleach-free, and it works on even the darkest hair tones. It's by Color Alchemy, and it scatters light in a range of kaleidoscopic hues, which transform and shift in response to temperature, replicating the visual effect of the structural color phenomenon found in nature. It's available in 5 different holographic shades, and you just paint it on with a sponge. It's a gel cream formula. You put it in your hair, and you let it dry, and you wait for the magic to happen, is what they say. The color-changing triggers include sunlight, body temperature, or movement, or the use of heat or hair tools. It is very expensive. It is 66 pounds, which is approximately $80 USD. But isn't that freaking cool? I just thought that was super neat. Very, very cool. Okay. Also wanted to let you know that I don't know if this has been done before. I would imagine it had to have been done before, but this is the Daisy on the Go Marc Jacobs product. These are pocket-sized fragrance capsules. So these are the Daisy fragrances, Oh So Fresh, the Signature One, and Love. It's $30 a tin, and you get 30 capsules in the tin. They say robust, environmentally friendly aluminum containers, perfectly merges the ease of use with eco-consciousness. I don't know about that. Striking the perfect balance that Generation Z will surely appreciate. But I like the idea of just single-use perfume. I think that's super neat. So I wanted to mention that so you can like put them in your purse or whatever is what they say. So I think that's super cool. The other thing is that Prada is launching makeup and skincare, kind of going along the lines of Valentino launched Hermes Hermes. I always say Hermes, but I think it's Hermes. Is launching, had launched, and they seem to be doing really well. So now Prada is launching skincare and makeup, and that should be coming August 1st. So that's soon, and then it's going to be rolling out in luxury stores as well. They say that they're going to be 6 4-color eye palettes and a soft filter foundation in 33 shades developed with the use of artificial intelligence. This is all according to WWD. Prices range from 45 euros to 360 euros. The eyeshadow is going to be 80 euros. So, of course, very pricey. If I have to pick a favorite luxury brand, I would pick Prada. Prada is definitely my favorite. It is the only thing luxury that I own in my entire life is one Prada bag, and I freaking love it. Her name is Sarah. And yes, I named my purse, and there's a good reason, because she is my love, and I love her. It's the only luxury thing that I own. I bought it when I was with Michelle Wong in Vegas. Thank you, Michelle, for being a bad influence on me. So yes, I am excited about the Prada makeup and skincare. I may have to buy something just because it is literally the only luxury brand that I like. They did have a makeup brand back in 2000, but they discontinued it. This may be a better time for them, though. Oh, wow. Girly Girl says about the hair stuff is actually more than that. It's over $100 and only lasts for a day. So you better just be buying one of those sprays for Halloween and putting in your hair chalk and calling it a day. Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's very, very, very temporary, the hair stuff. Yeah, Bailey says, I watched the Insider Beauty video about the hair product. It's a cool idea, but I don't think it's anywhere near worth the money. It seemed hard to see, and she had to use a ton of product. Excuse me. That's very interesting. Thank you for that, because I was actually thinking about getting it because it does look super cool that like maybe Phoenix and I can share it, because I think Phoenix would like it too. What happened there? I don't even know what happened there. There's nothing here for me to put my arm in. I don't know what happened. Okay. And then 2 more things I wanted to share with you, just to make sure I get to them. We have one that didn't load, apparently. This one, did it load? Oh, there it is. KVD Full Sleeve Long and Defined Tubing Mascara. So excited that KVD Beauties came out with a tubing mascara. I would imagine that is going to be super fab. It almost looks like Velcro, doesn't it? The little wand there. $25 there. And I love the packaging on this. I love that it's called full sleeve too. Like, how smart is that? Love it. And then I also wanted to mention that Half Magic by Donnie Davy is now at Ulta, which I think is a great place for Half Magic. If you're not familiar with Donnie Davy, she is the makeup artist for Euphoria. So I think that's a great place for Half Magic to go, is Ulta. So those were all of my notes of the things that I wanted to share with you. I knew that hair story, we were going to chat about that for a while. But yeah, let's see. Let me see what y'all are saying. Yes. Okay. So very quickly, Phoenix and I loved the Barbie movie. I wasn't a huge Barbie person, but I loved it. America Ferrera is the character that America Ferrera played is like my hero. And the relationship between America Ferrera and her daughter was so real. Like the whole tween time when they're all like, I feel like there has to be some kind of like skin sensitivity extra thing happening with teenagers, like tweens during that time, because they just don't want to be touched. Both my kids were like that, but John's still like that. But Phoenix was like that too, where they're like, get off of me. Like, I need my space. And some people are just like that all the time, which is totally fine. Yeah, there you go. Vegas is always a good idea. It says, life is short. Get the Prada bag in Vegas. I did. Sarah is my love. She's named after Sarah from Labyrinth. That's where her name came from. Wait, let me see what else y'all are talking about. Yeah, Amy, I thought Prada would have makeup before now too, but they're just coming out now. I think maybe they were scarred in 2000 when they launched it and then pulled it immediately. But I think that it's a good time for Prada to launch makeup. And I do think I might have to try it just because that's my luxury brand, because I am not a luxury person. That is the one. That is the one. Yeah, the Barbie movie was great. I think that, people are talking. I was expecting it to be like super, super feminist, like hard, like really heavy handed on the feminism, but I really didn't think that it was. I thought it was just realistic, honestly. Like, I really just thought it was realistic. I thought that it was just, the whole take on gender roles and all of that. I just thought was really realistic, and it helped me to, it was very validating. If you haven't read America Ferrera's monologue that she does during that, it's available to read. I don't know if you can find a clip of it on YouTube or not, but it was definitely my favorite part of the movie, where she just talks about, that things like, you go into a store and you can't be too nice because you'll get walked over. Or I don't know if she actually says this, but it's this kind of thing. You can't be too nice or you get walked over, but you can't be, too strong or you're a bitch. And then like she just goes through all of these different things that make it so difficult because of being women, like all of the things that we have to deal with in society. It was really good. And I am a huge Ryan Gosling fan. That man. Ever since The Notebook, man, he's had my heart. He's had my heart since The Notebook. I watched La La Land on the plane back from Mexico, and I thought it was weird, but Ryan Gosling. Love that man. And he was good. He was really good in that part. He really was. And I liked how they talked about male gender roles as well when it came to the Ken character. It was a lot deeper than you expect a Barbie movie to be, So would hi, you guys with your labyrinth. What power? Power of voodoo. Voodoo, you do what? Remind me of the babe. Huge Labyrinth fan. You guys are cute. All right, I gotta go. Thank you all so much for being here. Next week we're back to normal programming, back to regular. We've got favorites and fails countdown on Friday, and then we will have regular What's Up in Makeup next weekend. So as you can see, it really wasn't anything super headline inducing this week. Interesting to chat about, but not like real good headlines. So this was a great week to not have a show. TBH. It was a great week to not have a show. So yeah, but I think the chat format was perfect for these topics. So thank you for being here, for being a part of it, and for being part of this community. I appreciate you. You all honestly are what makes this special. I just put the things out there, but it's the conversation and the community that I think that makes us unique in the beauty space, that we can converse and talk about things and share our opinions. So mad love to you. Have a wonderful week. If you are somewhere very warm, please stay cool. Drink lots of water, hydrate, splash water on your neck and in your pulse points. And I hope that it cools down soon because it is very hot. And mad love. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.